All right. So we have the FNaF movie 2 trailer. It just dropped. It's 10 p.m. I'm writing a video. I was preparing to record it. I thought I might as well record this, test how the audio goes. Um, but yeah. Let's just watch this. Make sure it's on good quality. What? Why is 1080p no longer the default if your PC supports 1080p? Also, why is there how I guess it's better bitrate, but I don't really get the. Okay, no, whatever.
So
Hey,
you
Vanessa.
wanna tell me about your bad dreams?
It's always the same.
This is not 1080p.
Your dad.
Pretty Pasmer version 3.0. It's interesting that they specify version 3. Here's to be spring loaded. Okay, whatever.
We're never gonna be able to move forward until you deal with some of the mess you left in your head.
My father was a monster. You know that.
Okay, so I think we're confirming this is almost Vanessa's version of the nightmare animatronics, where it's like this is what haunts her mind and keeps her in check. Is the dreams of him as Spring Bonnie every night.
Everyone called it the night.
Sorry, I missed my birthday, but oh, I have a feeling I know that one
Until
is.
years later, when those 5 children went missing, I called it an accident. But it wasn't until years later, when those 5 children went missing, that I knew she was murdered by him.
Are you ever gonna go back?
What the hell was that? What's happening here? So obviously this is Henry, like saying I knew that she was murdered,
She was
yada yada.
murdered.
Or this is equivalent to Henry. Let's read this. The field of animatronics owes a great deal to the singular devotion and revolutionary work of William Afton. His pioneering vision with technology and entertainment with the animatronic. Opening of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Feature. A member of the local business community itself. Design lifelike animatronics. Grand opening. Didn't stop here though. He was excited about the potential future of his creations. Houston started to experiment with new ideas and technology, looking to improve and innovate. So we're okay. I don't know if he actually made the animatronics in this universe, or we're just doing like a propaganda thing of like this is how the public knows it. And maybe we're going to reveal that Henry really made the animatronics and William like basically stole the designs or whatever. So we got Charlie, I guess. What is Charlie
Are you
doing?
ever gonna go back to Freddy's? I mean,
I think my sister is here.
Okay, that's a shot we've seen.
Where are you gonna run to?
Oh, we finally got to see him. Oh, we haven't seen Withered Freddy yet. He looks great. Like, look at the wither. Like, I've got terrible bitrate right now. It's very clunky looking. But I'm assuming once you see this in the big, like, there's great texturing on the wither. It's like, okay, and okay, so Withered Bonnie still has his blue eyes. I don't mind the blue eyes that much.
What do they want with my sister?
Okay, hold on. That's a bit much. So it looks like we're keeping the red eyes as a like a malfunction mode mechanic. I think that's what the movies are going for with the whole red eyes, because this we haven't seen them with red eyes until now.
Half of this town will be dead by morning.
What the? Half of this town will be dead by morning? Jesus. Ooh. Ooh, the white eyes. So I guess the animatronics are just going feral and ballistic in this one. Mango? Mango! I have a feeling movie Mangle's going to get 3JP if the hype they've kind of built up Mangle to be at. Who are you? You don't look like the other characters so far. Because you're taking back a curtain and a purple shirt. I've heard leaks and rumors, and I don't think this is the case, but because it's really weird to pull off, is that there's going to be a Michael Afton who's different from Mike Schmidt, our main guy. If this is him, that'd be interesting. I hope they don't do that. I think that would be very... I don't know. Every time one of the movies... Like, every time the movies reveal something kind of weird and different about their own lore, it throws the community into be like, but what if we're all wrong? For, like, the 7th time, and then it's going to be confusing and dumb, and then we have to re-explain. It's like, no, we came to this conclusion because it was spelled out for us in the survival logbook, and, like, I don't know. It would just be a whole thing, and I know you'd have to go through it again. Every now and then the series does that, where they have a new lore reveal that that people like run with for a little bit, and then have to figure out. But this is exactly the kind of shit that 3JP is supposed to represent in the FNaF card game. Like the idea of like the JP system, jump scare power, is that 0 is like the strength level of an average person. With 1 being like an armed or dangerous person. That's like what William is, a 1JP card, for example. He is what a physical threat that is at the limit of what a human's capable of looks like. With 2JP being where you enter like robotic strength that's not normal. And then when you get to the weird ballistic shit, that's supposed to be like the upper limit of what a normal animatronic's physical capabilities can represent. Like the physical metal moving and attacking, that's what 3JP is. With 4JP being like you have that, plus there's some weird supernatural extra factor there, and 5JP is Golden Freddy Puppeteer. It's just like you're kind of an unstoppable force at that point, and anything beyond that's meant to be like that kind of ethereal, unstoppable tier threat kind of premise. I think the two different highest JP cards in the game base value are Great Escape Golden Freddy and the Agony Colossus. The Agony Colossus is pretty obvious. It's a giant trash monster from Fazbear Frights. And a Great Escape Golden Freddy is more just flavor for why it's supposed to be so strong. It's just like the idea of like it's a harder to play Golden Freddy, and Golden Freddy's already kind of one of the strongest characters in the game. So it's like, how do you make a stronger, harder to play variant of a hard to play strong character? Well, you go even further beyond. But I don't know. I'm just excited to have that in the game. I don't think any of the movie cards up to this point have had more than 2 base JP. Oh, I think actually, let me check. I think Yellow Rabbit does, actually, now that I think about it. Let me look at the movie cards on my phone real quick. In general, it's going to be kind of fun to be able to work on the movie set again. The movie cards have a very fun, weirdly like fast-paced playstyle to them. Yeah, Yellow Rabbit movie. Yeah, okay, so we've had one 3JP card up to this point, which is Yellow Rabbit. Which the Springtrap cards are typically represented as 3JP. It's just like the idea of like them being more dangerous than your typical animatronic. Which Yellow Rabbit has some weird command over, or William has some weird command over the missing kids in the first movie, which is kind of my idea to that. I still love, one of my favorite things the movie has done is given this weird cyan, green, and orange logo that we didn't really have up until now. I really like this color palette because it's the normal like hacked font, like red and all that, and white logo. It's good. It's iconic, but it does have like an exclusively horror feel to it. It doesn't have that nice mix of it's a entertaining place by day, a threat by night kind of vibe that this logo has. Like I could see this text for Freddy's being part of the actual sign, with the Five Nights at being like this addendum to it, like this weird uncanny addition. Kind of.
We're never gonna be able to move
So
forward
what is she doing?
until you deal with some of the mess you left in your head.
Okay, so here's what I think she's doing. I think she's trying to do what Mike was kind of doing in the first movie, but instead of he has to have pictures of campgrounds and he has to like have rain and forest noises because that was where he lost Garrett. She has to have like all the cursed items, so to speak, of the missing kids. I think so. That's her way of tapping into the same dream ability or
My
whatever.
father was a monster. You know that.
It's a great sound effect. I really hope Dream Yellow Rabbit or whatever you want to call it has just weird, uncanny sound effects.
Called it an accident, but it wasn't until years later when those five.
So we still have Henry alive, so we're deviating from Silver Eyes finally. It's really interesting. The first movie was so Silver Eyes like. This is already. I feel like we've kind of left behind all our Silver Eyes connections already to be something a bit more game-like and original. So we still have Henry. It looks like, or presumably, who else? Who else could this fucking be? It's the dad of Charlie.
Later, when those five children went missing,
Shot from the first movie.
I knew she was murdered by him.
So, this is this is not a 3-year-old. So, it does look like we're having a kid who's older than novel Charlie was when she died. Because she's supposed to be, it was like, what, like, it was like 1970 something to 1983. It was supposed to be like a very, or 1980 to 1983, I think it was. Let me look on Let me look up on my phone. Yeah, in the novels, it's 1980 to 1983, I think. Yes, it is. All right, so definitely not a 3-year-old. She almost looks like a near teenager in this version. I don't mind that change. I like the idea of like Charlie being an older sister kind of figure for the missing kids. What's she doing here though? Wait, hold on. Okay, so this is clearly not
Are you ever gonna?
one of the missing kids. I don't think so. But he does kind of have the haircut of our weird mysterious guy here. I find it weird. Okay, this is the other reason I find Michael Afton kind of a weird concept if we end up doing that. Is Vanessa never mentioned him in the first movie. It felt like she was kind of taking the role of Afton's kid, almost like the abused Elizabeth novel baby kind of dynamic. Like the accomplice storyline. So, I'd be kind of surprised if we do him. I'll see how he's executed. I feel like it's unnecessarily splitting up characters into separate beings, though. Whatever. We'll see. We'll see how it works.
To go back? The Freddy's, I mean?
So it looks like we got our friend for Abby. Different sign, new Freddy
I think my
Fazbear.
sister is here.
They got Amazement Drive as their address. Pizza, arcade games, Rockin' Beats, I think is what that says. That's my only guess for what that could say. Half off admission. Yeah, typical grand opening stuff. It's usually a little cheaper to get a lot of people in the door. Got Balloon Boy over here in the corner. We got the carousel. This is it's really different from the FNaF. Oh, right, it's River Ride. That's right, they have a River Ride in this one. Which is really ambitious for a kid's pizza place, by the way. Like, you don't see that kind of stuff every day. Sometimes, like, I worked at an arcadey pizza place for a little bit. And we had, like, a golf course kind of thing, but it was a very small, like, it was sort of just taking advantage of spare rooms we had is how we pulled it off. It looked cool, don't get me wrong. I was actually really fond of it. That was one of the things I managed because I managed the arcade. Or I should say I was an arcade attendant or whatever the job actually was. But it wasn't like an actual, because an actual working water attraction's extremely expensive and hard to pull off.
Where are you gonna run to?
Who's that? So here's my thought. Here's how I think we can do. Like I said, I don't think this guy's gonna be Michael Afton, but I think we're gonna learn that Charlie saved a kid from William when she was younger, or just something like that. Something like she did something to help another kid when she was alive, and I think he's going to kind of act as her sort of ally in this movie. But kind of for the worst because, I don't know, evil ghost shit.
What do they want with my sister? Half of this town will be dead by morning.
That's my only guess for what his role could be. I don't know what else to really say. I think I've already said kind of everything I can get out of this at a first glance. I'm just kind of doing one. The withers look great, by the way. The toys also look really good.
With my sister.
That shot's a little... This is our blood tear, or black tears equivalent shot, I feel like. Usually these shots look better when you're seeing them in the actual movie and it's all paced accurately. The trailers, like the weird pacing and cuts they do, kind of can mess with things somewhat.
Half of this town will be dead by morning.
This line, I can't get over this line. The idea, because I don't really think of the animatronics as like a city-wide threat typically. But that's... There's something somewhat cool about that, but there's also something really funny about that. Just the idea of Mangle going around like knocking heads together, Terminator style. It's just like really not what I think of when I think of FNaF. I think of FNaF as kind of one of those, you know, it's like Mike phrased it pretty well in the survival logbook. Everything about this place is crazy and no one seems to notice except me. Like, it's this very inside track that the only people who really understand how dangerous the place is are the people who have been in the kind of trenches of working there. Because even starting with Fazbear's Fright and the public knowing how dangerous, or no, not knowing how dangerous, but knowing the rumors and the legends of the characters. You know, they're still, it still has hokey ghost stories to the public. They don't actually understand how dangerous the characters are. But Anyway, uh, I think this will be interesting. I'm really excited to see it. I'll obviously see it in theaters when it comes out. I'm a big movie theater person. I really like seeing stuff in theaters when it comes out if I'm interested in it. Um, I just like the whole movie experience, so I'll see it then. Anyway, bye.